It's Dave Dean here, and we're doing a review on the S.M.S.L PO100 USB digital audio interface. So this is the box that it came with. Really nothing spectacular. It's your regular cardboard box. Let's open her up. And as you can see on here, the PO100 is an ultra compact USB digital audio interface. It adopts the S.M.S.L design. The input uses Type-C USB interface. It has two digital outputs, optical and coaxial. The output supports sampling rates from 44.1 to 192 kilohertz and DOP 64. So I'm not going to go on the indicator here because I'm going to actually show you guys in the vehicle. It's only basically got two colors that it switches to, blue and red, and I'll go over that when we get into the car. All right, so it only comes with the actual device and one cord. So I already had this opened up before. So this is just basically your standard USB to USB-C cable, right? Put that off to the side. And then here's the actual product itself. It's pretty tiny, almost, the same size as like a dongle deck, just a different shape and just a square shape, right? So there's your input there, USB Type-C. And here are your two outputs. So your two outputs is obviously on the top there is coaxial digital output. And then on the bottom, you got your optical Toslink output. All right. So pretty straightforward. You'll see the light up here when we get into the vehicle. And I'll let you know how it sounds. So let's go into the vehicle and check it out. All right, guys, we're in the vehicle now. And I have the S.M.S.L PO100 hooked up to my File M17. I also hooked this up to my iPhone 13 Pro Max. And when I hooked that up, obviously I needed to use Apple's Lightning to USB 3 camera adapter, right? For those of you that have seen a lot of my videos, you know this is pretty much the main device that you have to use when you want that bit perfect digital audio out of your phones, right? So first and foremost, as you've seen in the unboxing, this is just the straightforward USB Type-C for the input. That's all it has. And then the outputs is just the coaxial digital output, which is hooked up right now going into my Helix DSP Ultra. And then it also has the optical Toslink out that could go into your DSP as well, right? I'm just going to show you right off the bat. Hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to play a track. And so basically how this works is, anything under 88.2, a blue light will appear. And then anything that's 88.2 and higher, you'll see a red light. So I'll show you that right now. I'm just going to play a 44.1 track and you'll see the blue light come on. All right. Let's see if I can, there you go. So there's the blue light there. Right. So now I'm going to see if I can get a better image of that. I had it on there. There you go. So you can see the blue light there. Now I'm going to switch it to a 2496 track. And you'll see it switch to red, right? So that's the only pretty much identifier it has when you're playing, anything from basically 24 to 192 in your DST, right? It's just going to give either going to be blue, right? Or it's going to be red. So that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward for this little product. And basically what I used for testing is the same thing I use for pretty much everything when I'm testing products. I use Apple Music and I also use Tidal. Those are the two prominent apps. If you've seen my other videos, those are the two that I use all the time. I also used that USB Audio Player Pro as well. I'm starting to incorporate that because I know a lot of people out there use that app. I know some people use the Hibby app too. I did have the Hibby app on here for a bit when I was testing some products before. I deleted it off here, but I have it on some of my other things that I use too as well. But if you guys have another app that you'd want me to use when I'm testing products out, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to test things through other apps too, because everybody's kind of got their favorite way of listening to music. For me, I'm pretty straightforward. I use Apple Music pretty much ever since they brought out the lossless. That's kind of like my favorite. out of everything. It used to be Tidal, and now I like the Apple Music app, right? But either or, I'm good with both. Okay. And once again, I used for music, I listen to all the different genres. You know what I mean? Like I use rock, heavy metal, rap, hip hop, pop, jazz, some classical music, even though I'm not a huge fan of classical music, some country, even though I'm not a big fan of country either. But I try to listen to everything. And usually now when I get a product, I listen to it for at least a week, right? I think it gives you a better overall experience because you'll notice if there's any bugs or anything going on with the actual product in a week. Some people, when they do the reviews, they're just listening to a few songs and that's it. To me, I like to listen to things for quite a while, right? To see if like all tracks are working with it properly, right? With this one, going through the FiO M17, I had some issues with some noise playing 24-192 tracks, which I don't have any issues with when I'm just using my M17 going straight into my DSP. So that was a little bit of a not all, just some, right? When you have a DSP that's mainly 24 to 96 for the most part, sometimes you'll have some issues with 24-192, right? And I did with this product. So that being said, I hooked it up to my phone. It worked flawlessly. I tried hooking it up to the iPad, but for whatever reason, it wasn't working with the iPad. But it worked with my iPhone 13 Pro Max, no problems whatsoever. It worked with my FiO M17. It's not like you're going to go buy a FiO M17 and then buy this product because you already have everything you need with the FiO M17. I just do this for like demonstration purposes, right? It's easier for me to film with my phone rather than film with an iPad showing you that the phone's hooked up to it, right? It's pretty much everything that you use with your phone. Like I said, you're going to use this, the Apple Lightning to USB 3 camera adapter, right? Pretty much everything. So for this item, it was $44 Canadian is what I paid for it, right? And it's I would say it's a pretty good deal. Like it's an entry-level product, but the sound quality out of it was actually really good. I was kind of surprised, right? Because I wasn't expecting much from this device, right? And it actually does an excellent job of, if you're that guy and you have a DSP and you're looking for something that gives you either coaxial digital out or optical, and then of course the inputs USB-C, but you can always go get an adapter if you want, like I did when I used this, right? I used the same adapter I used when I tested the topping D10 balanced. It's basically just the USB-C and then it's on this end it's USB female, and then from that you get a USB input going to USB-C, right? So it's pretty straightforward for that. And sound quality wise, like I said, it actually does a really good job. Now it doesn't do as good a job as I'd say like a topping D10S or a D10 balanced or a FiO K3, like the new one, or a BTA 30 or 30 Pro. I don't think it's not quite on that level, but it's close, right? And well, what do you expect? This thing's $44 and those other items are anywhere from like $130 and up, right? So I would say consider something like this if you have like entry-level DSP for sure, and then even possibly all the way up to like maybe a mid-level DSP. If you got a higher-end DSP and you need like an optical output, I would just go directly with like a topping D10S or D10 balanced, or go with the K3 from FiO or a BTA 30 Pro. I did a review on the BTA 30, but they have the BTA 30 Pro now, which is a little bit superior to that one. And the BTA 30 was actually decent, so I would imagine the BTA 30 Pro, maybe I'll get that one in and do another review on that one too as well. But I think for the FiO products, the next one on the list will probably be the new BTR5, because that's a very popular product for people that are into like the Bluetooth type thing, right? But yeah, it works flawlessly with the phone. If you're looking for something that's you're going to use with your phone, it sounds really good, right? It's small, right? Compact, so it's square, so it's not like a dongle DAC, right? But it's square. It's not really that thick, you know what I mean, on the sides. So it's kind of a small device. It's light, easy to bring with you in your car, right? So going over like the sound quality part of it, I think it once again, this is kind of like it's kind of a neutral piece. It doesn't really color the sound really too much, honestly. It's more of just like a neutral sounding product, right? And it's going to have your sound signature of whatever DSP you're kind of using it with it. That's what I found with this specific product. So like bass is like it's not overly boomy or anything like that. It's just kind of neutral. It's not doing anything spectacular or exciting or anything like that. It's just got a kind of like a neutral sound all throughout, from like bass to mid bass, to your mids to your highs, right? There's nothing that really stands out about it. It's not giving you like, it's not really giving you layers within the music, right? I think it's going to depending on what DSP you're going to use with this, right? Like I said, I would more kind of gear this towards your entry level to mid tier DSP that you're looking for an optical or coaxial digital output with, right? I'd say maybe like, $500-$600 DSP and under kind of thing. Once you start going up there, I think you would have to move in with like one of those other products that I mentioned, right? The toppings, the FiOS, that type of thing, to get a little bit better sound quality out of it. But I figured I'd bring this out just because, like I said, there's a lot of people still that have DSPs or amp/DSPs that they're needing like an optical. Usually it's optical, right? Because they don't have coaxial inputs on a lot of those DSPs. So they're looking for something that's optical, that's going to go in, and maybe they just want to stick with their phone or whatnot. This would kind of be a good device for that. But I said, just make sure it's like it's a mid-tier DSP or lower. If you got like a higher end DSP, don't waste your time on this product. Go into like a topping, like I said, a topping product, or the file products that I mentioned before, because it's going to give you better sound quality. And like I said, this is close to those products, but it's not quite there. And with those other products, it's just a little easier to connect to as well, right? If you're just strictly using your phone, this is fine. If you're using a FiO DAP, you might run into a few problems like I did when I originally first started connecting this thing. It didn't connect right away, and it took some time before it actually connected. And it was just like, I'm not going to go into that part of it because we could be here for a little while talking about that. But this is more strictly for guys that want to use their iPhones with a DSP and they want that optical out. All right. So that's it, guys. I don't want to do too long of a review on this one. It's a good piece for like how much it costs. It's an entry level product. So like I said, if you got a mid-tier DSP or lower, try it out. If you're not satisfied with it, then just move in with like the topping D10S, or the balance, depending on what your preference is at home, if you're doing anything balanced. And that's or the file. Yeah. Don't forget about the file, K3, the new version, right? That came out last year. Check those devices out if this isn't up to your level, but anybody with an entry level DSP, this will be fine. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.